Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is, I never left you. All through my wild days, my mad existence, I kept my promise. Don't keep your distance.
I have Robert Stigwood with me. Robert, I know this is probably a little bit rushed. You've only just come into the foyer, but your feelings tonight, your thoughts?
I'm absolutely delighted. I think the Australian cast are magnificent, and I'm thrilled that Evita is opening in Adelaide in this wonderful festival theatre.
Have you spoken to the cast today? What are their feelings about tonight?
They're all nervous, of course. But they'll pull it off. They're an incredible cast. They're high energy and great talent.
Robert, may we say welcome home once again, and we hope that you enjoy your stay. Will you be able to take a break for a holiday, or is it?
I'm trying very hard. I really do want to stay. I'm going to the races on Saturday, so if anyone can give me any tips, I'd appreciate it.
Right. Well, I think one big tip in town at the moment is Evita. Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you very much.
Robert Stigwood, ladies and gentlemen.
It was a television camera.
It certainly is, and that, of course, is Frankie Howerd. Certainly needs no introduction. Especially came out to Australia for Evita.
This is really came for This Is Your Life for Robert Stigwood, who's an old friend of mine, you see. And also, for the first time I've been to Adelaide, so I wanted to see Adelaide because it's Robert's hometown, partially because it's Robert's hometown, and I've heard it's so beautiful. And for the first night of Evita, then I'm going to do some business in Sydney, I hope. To arrange to come back here again, and then I'm hoping to go for a holiday. I'm in the Barrier Reef.
Have you seen the production in England?
I saw it, yes, twice.
Stunning, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's a remarkable evening. Yeah. And it's a great thrill to be here for me. It's a marvellous atmosphere, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely.
Yes,
Well, we'll let you join Robert and the other guests.
Thank you. Well, I'm looking forward to see you later on in the party. We'll have a drink.
Frankie Howerd.
Welcome. Thank you. God bless you.
Andrew Lloyd Webber, along with Tim Rice, the two people responsible for creating the concept of Evita and putting it on paper, and now, of course, the production here tonight. What have you two been doing since you wrote Evita? How long ago was that? About 4 years?
1976 we did Evita. Of course, we were involved very heavily with the production in London. Actually, we've had a lot of other things going on since then. I just had a new piece out in England. It always takes a little longer for everything, I guess, to get here. There'd be quite a lot of other work going on, but I haven't actually written anything with Tim since then.
And do you plan to? I mean, Jesus Christ Superstar,
absolutely.
Evita,
Absolutely, definitely. You know, it's a question of time and getting the right idea.
Fine, so there's nothing actually formulated at the moment?
Not at the moment with us, but I mean, you know, we have ideas, plans all the time.
Right, Andrew, we'll let you take your seat, and we welcome you to Adelaide.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Fine, this is Tim Rice, and everybody's starting to move in. It's a very, very big moment, and so many people are excited here tonight. You've attended, naturally, the premieres in America, Los Angeles.
I didn't actually go to that one, but I've been to London and New York. Yes.
And is there anything on the planning stages for a follow-up with a Jesus Christ Superstar?
Not rock certain, but we are thinking about something. It's about time we did something new.
We'll look forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Wish you well.
Thank you very much
for joining us here tonight.
Robert Stigwood, a show business legend in his own time, saw the genius in the music and the possibilities, and Evita became a smash hit in London and the States. He decided that his hometown would first see the staging of Evita in Australia.
Adelaide is where I was born. My roots are here. And I was optimistic that the show would be a big success, so obviously I am happy to launch it in Adelaide. That's very important to me. I believe tremendously in commercial entertainment. I don't think entertainment necessarily needs to be too much subsidized. I think in a way it can stand on its own feet. And Evita is a great example of that. There's a classic piece of theatre that is commercial at the same time. I love the idea of the show. I heard the music. So I took my usual roll of the dice, and I did predict it would be a hit, and that's very important for me, because I have to have a total belief and commitment to push forward and do things. It's hard to describe it. It's a gut feeling with me. I can get turned off or on very easily. Very few people are that fortunate that their work can be their hobby, and I count my blessings every day. I think she's a dangerous lady, but she's very interesting in terms of theatre. And I think the way she's portrayed in Evita is correct and accurate and
Tim Rice's great mind and perception turned a chance beginning into Evita the musical.
Well, I didn't really know anything about Eva Peron prior to hearing a radio program about her in England by chance in my car. And the story intrigued me. And I thought, well, if it intrigues me, who knows nothing about her, if other people hear the story, it may also interest them. And I heard the program again when it was repeated a week later. And then I found somebody had done a television film about her a couple of years before, and I saw that. And the more I read about her, the more interested I became. And I just thought, well, she's a fascinating person. Although I have, on the face of it, no reason at all to be interested in her, I am. Therefore, maybe other people will be. And also, it was the kind of melodramatic story that suited our style. Usually, I come up with a kind of plot synopsis, which could maybe only be 3 or 4 sheets of paper, but has an overall structure divided into 20-odd scenes. Then Andrew obviously will add or take away ideas from that. And then he'll come up with some tunes, some main themes, which I hope are inspired by the plot. And then I will put lyrics to those tunes. So really it's plot, music, lyrics. With Eva Peron, it's pretty factual what she did and what she didn't. So we were stuck with the facts much more accurately. With Superstar, like theologians have all over the ages, we could go off on a tangent and nobody could really say you're wrong, because it's a much more personal, individual thing. With Eva Peron, had we mucked around with the facts, then I think we would have quite rightly been criticised. If people say to me, do you think you'll always be linked with Andrew Lloyd Webber? Obviously, if we continue working together over the years, and I hope we do, then the answer is, if we're successful, yes. I suppose if we're total flops now and we'll still be linked together, then we're remembered as those guys who had a couple of hits back in the 70s. But I would like to go on working with Andrew, providing there are projects that interest both of us. But we both do solo things. And Andrew's just done a piece with another lyricist, a television show. But I think we work well together. I think probably we're quite a good combination.
The first thing that I look for in anything is whether or not it's a subject for the theatre, because I think I'm a musical theatre animal, and I like writing complete pieces. I find it quite difficult to do pieces that are just individual songs, say. I always look for the theatricality in any story that I'm given. And of course the story of Eva Peron is profoundly theatrical. I mean, it's almost so theatrical that you can't believe that it could really have happened. The other thing that appealed to me about it was that it was the opportunity, there was the opportunity there to write a political piece. It intrigued me to write about manipulation of people by a very attractive woman, admittedly, but who really was a very evil woman. And it meant that I think there's a side in the music that I was able to investigate that is a little blacker than, say, you'd find in the story of a straightforward romantic heroine, and that intrigued me. Evita was the last collaboration that I had with Tim Rice. That was back in 1976. We did a little work on the production in London together, sort of in 1978 when it opened there, but it was the last main piece that I wrote with him. We tended to work by producing the plot together and then looking for the theatre moments that I felt that I could turn into either set pieces of some kind or arias of some kind. I always wanted to work with Harold Prince, and it's Harold Prince's show, really, I mean, in the sense that he has realised, I think almost as closely as I could have ever dreamt that I'd see realised, what I wanted to do with Evita. And I think it's to him, really, that Tim and I owe the greatest thanks.
Larry Fuller, original choreographer for Evita, is here with the others of the Stigwood team. His energy and talent mirrors his creative genius. His credits for film, theatre and ballet are international.
The music itself was very inspirational because, of course, when you start to move, when I hear the music, it makes me move in a certain way. And I think it was a combination of both. And of course, the lyrics, which tell the story and demonstrate verbally what the idea you're communicating to the audience. I think I worked first on Buenos Aires, which is the big long dance number in the show. It's in the first act, and it's about 8 minutes long. And it went through an evolution, that number, more than any of them, I think, because I had to kind of make a story up. It's like a ballet in a way. It's where she first comes to Buenos Aires, and then she meets the aristocrats as a group for the first time, and she's rejected by them, and then she becomes very anti-aristocrat or anti-oligarchs, and that's really where the turning point comes for her as a kind of from a young kid, rather naive and certainly vulnerable, to a rather embittered young woman.
Hello! Buenos Aires! Get this! Just run a major